Hi, this is Doug Smith. I am doing training for DHS Realty for Wednesday, and we are doing working with a buyer and a tenant. I just did a buyer video. It was 20 minutes, and so we're now going to work on doing a video on working with a tenant. So the first thing is you're driving down the road. And I always say that you could be anywhere because we're at DHS Realty. We train our agents up to be remote real estate. R squared is what we like to say, remote real estate. And that is that you could be anywhere in the world, have cell service or Wi-Fi and be able to do real estate. So I've heard some people say we have 58 offices. They're all called Starbucks, and that's not true. You can have you can work real estate anywhere. You could be at a dog park, you could be in Africa, you could be in Europe, in Asia, and all you have to have is cell service or Wi-Fi. So the first thing is you're somewhere in the world and your phone rings and you need to pick the phone up. That's the first rule of real estate is don't let it go to voicemail. So when you pick it up, Doug Smith with DHS Realty. Yeah, I'd like to look at a property at 222 Trees. Absolutely. When do you want to look at it? You always want to set the appointment. So you always want to say when you want to look at it. And obviously, you're going to be on the phone. I don't recommend that you go into MLS, which is this website, and pull up this property to see if it's available. Because at this moment, who cares? This is a buyer tenant that wants to look at a property. And if it's unavailable, if you tell them, they could hang up on you. So your goal is trying to keep them as a client. You should feel that you're the best agent in the DFW area, and it would be a disservice if they didn't use you. So you don't want to say that the property's unavailable. If it's already leased, they could possibly hang up. So set the appointment. We want to meet them in person regardless. And so you would say, oh, when do you want to look at it? Oh, I don't know. How about this evening? Absolutely. Are you in a month-to-month lease now, or what's your story? Where do you live? And just start a conversation with them. At some point, you verify that this is their cell phone, and you ask them if they text, and then you get their email. And then you tell them that you'll see them tonight at 7 p.m. at 222 Trees. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to log into MLS. And we've said all along that MLS is matrix.netris.net. I like to keep that on my iPhone as a home screen. So when I log into MLS on my phone, it's identical to this. And when you log in, it'll be your username, which is your license with a 0, and then you'll have some password that you did yourself. So once you log in, most likely you'll get a screen that looks like this. It's got about 12 options, and you're going to always pick the one in the top left corner, which is Matrix Netris. This means that the next screen you're in the MLS. So right now, all we know is that the client wants to look at 222 Trees. So the easiest way to find it is to just go to street name and street number and type 222. And then let's say you don't know how to spell and you know that tree starts with a T. That's all you need. You hit enter and it's going to pull up 222 Trees right there. Okay. Let's say that you don't know the street number, but you know that it's trees. You could just type in TRE and do one more E and hit search, and it's going to pull up all the properties with trees in it. And you can see that there it is. So there's a number of ways to get to it. And I always like to make real estate easy, keep it simple. And that's what I believe because I'm not that smart. So keep it simple, stupid is what I like to say when people talk to me. I just want to know what time it is, not how the clock's made. So 222 tree. And there it is. As we learned in all of our videos, we always want to click on the MLS number. So we click on it. And I always like to print this immediately. So I hit print, and I'm always going to hit the agent full report, put the control button down, and also print the customer full report, and then hit print. After I do that, I am going to scroll down, and I notice that underneath the clock, there's nothing. So there's not a link to showing time. So I'm going to scroll to the bottom, and you can see right here, it says call listing agent directly, Julie Doniger. So you either call or text her or email her and ask her, hey, Julie, is 222 Trees available? And if she says yes, then you're golden. Okay. So that's how you'll make an appointment for it. Now it's in Cedar Hill and it's 2,600. So what I always do is I'm going to go back in the MLS. So I'm going to hover over search. I'm going to go residential lease, quick. And I'm going to go over here and go 0-2600. And in the city, I'm going to type in Cedar Hill. And you can see there's only 6 matches. Houses alone, there's 6. So you hit results. And again, at this stage, we always say there's 3 things you do: save, new auto results, save, new auto email. So back at criteria, you can see that we hit results, save, new auto email. And we're at the screen where if I scroll to the bottom and hit save, I just emailed them. So at the top, I need to put in the buyer's name. If I have already the buyer or tenant in here, I just pick them from the drop down, but I need to create one. So this is going to be Tim, the tenant. And the email is, okay, whatever their email is. You hit save. In the subject line, put lease properties in Cedar Hill. Try to spell correctly. Nothing beats somebody down more than misspelled words. And then before you hit save, hit ASAP. That means that after you send this initial search, whenever a new listing fits that criteria, they'll get it immediately, no matter what time of day it is. Hit save and you just email the properties. So now you're going to send over a text message, a video message. I like sending my electronic business card through Haystack, Haystack. Also, I'd like to do a video message. And I'm going to say, hey, this is Doug. I'll see you tonight at 222 Trees. I did want to let you know there's 5 other homes in the area. I did send those to you tonight or this morning, and I can make appointments. We could probably knock out all 6 this evening. Just let me know if you see any other ones that you like. And say, I'll see you tonight at 7, and then boom. Now, what I always like to do is have a home buyer packet. We talked about it in the video preceding, working with a buyer, that the easiest thing to do to make a home buyer packet is create a cover page with your logo or your personal branding, your name, your email, your phone number, not your broker's, but your name, your phone number, your email. Your broker has to be half the size of the biggest font, contact information. Then put in the IBS, a buyer rep that says in the first sentence, at paragraph 1, your name goes here. Go into zip forms and print some filler paper, like 7 reasons to use a realtor. And then have your resume, your references, and a quick little bio. And have a title company make you a few copies. And that way, when you meet the client tonight, not only do you have the customer full report, but you also have a little home buyer packet. Even with a tenant, you always want to talk about how the backyard faces the sun, because a tenant also wants to enjoy the evening sun. When it goes down, they don't want it to be in the backyard facing them when it's 110 degrees out. So obviously, also for tenants, it's going to be good to have split bedrooms if it's a single story, or if it's a 2-story, to have the master down and the other bedrooms up. And then, of course, a tenant also needs to know how to water the foundation. So you can also talk about a sprinkler in the garage, or if they don't have one, that we'll be sure to ask the landlord if we need to water the foundation, or if the landlord wants to do it. And then, you want to absolutely bring whatever application the landlord agent wants. So that would be a follow-up. Before you show the property, you would just text the agent when they said that 7 p.m. was good to show tonight, that you would say, hey, if my client likes the property, what application do you want? Generally speaking, it's going to be in either our zip forms, or it's going to be in the remarks section, or down there towards where it said to make an appointment. It'll tell you what website to go to possibly have your client fill out the application. After you show any property, whether for buying or leasing, you always want to text the agent just to double check it's still available. So let's say that the application was on zip forms, and that's what they say. Oh, it's the application on zip forms. Then we're going to go to texasrealestate.com. And you're going to have your name here where it says, hi, Doug, or hi, Susie. You're going to click zip forms. And again, let's say that our tenant's name is Daffy Duck. Well, we need to create a transaction for Daffy. So the first button and only button we'll ever hit is the new button. And you'll get 5 boxes: seller, buyer, lease. So you'll pick lease. You'll name it Daffy. Always select residential no matter what. And then this drop down, you would select one of the 4 templates. Well, it's not a buyer, it's not a landlord, it's not a seller, it's a tenant. And then all you do is hit save, and you'll be at a white summary square, and you'll go 2 tabs over to documents. Once you go to documents, you scroll down and you look for lease application. So as you hover over, a cursor turns to a hand, it'll tell you the title of the form. And as you keep going, you go, oh, look at there. So you open it. Now this can't be filled out unless it's sent as a PDF. So what I always like to do is right here at the top, hit send. You'll hit email and you'll have 2 screens that pop up. You red X out of the first screen and you simply type in Daffy's email. And then here you put print, fill out, initial, and sign. Hand back to me. Make sure that you're capitalizing correctly and spelling correctly. Don't put 3 periods after any sentence. Then hit send, and you just email that to Daffy Duck. It'll ask you where you're going to send it through, and you need to go ahead and put it's going to be sent through your Gmail. So hopefully nobody owns the domain daffyduck.com because they just got a lease application. But that's the way it works, okay? And then you can always have them fill it out and leave this top part blank right here. And that way you always have like a master copy that you can fill in for each individual house if this one doesn't work out. Right here, you absolutely want to mark real estate agent and put your name there. And that protects you as well. But there is another form that protects you, and it's called Agreement Between Brokers Regarding Residential Leases. And you'll open it up. And it's always a good idea to go ahead and print this. Right now, we template it where it says you're going to get 50% of the first month's rent. So I don't know if you remember, but that said $500. That's the commission on this lease. So you would delete that, and you'd mark right here and just put $500. Okay. Then you'd hit save, and you'd print it, and you'd sign it and scan it to the other agent. And then they're also going to want a W-9 of our brokerage firm. And so for that, you'll go to back agent. So this is back agent. And when you log in, again, dhsrealty.backagent.net, you go to office, documents, quick resources. That's simple. Scroll down until you see W-9. It's going to be at the bottom. And all you do is send and share. And you email it to the other agent. So they have the broker W-9. They have this document, the agreement between brokers for residential leases, and you've sent them an application. Okay. And then you follow up. Always communicate. That's the best way to know that you're on the right page, is communicate, communicate, communicate. And other than that, that pretty much wraps up. And then I'd be available from 5 a.m. to midnight, and you would give me a ring. And I walk you through everything and review everything for no fees are involved in that. So y'all be safe.